Okay, before we get into area of polygons, I want to take a look at perimeter. So we're going to work in IXL today. Go to the geometry section. Under S.1 is perimeter, and you're going to work until you get a SMART score of 60. So we will use perimeter later in the unit in one of our formulas for area, but it's important to understand the difference between perimeter and area before we get into area. So perimeter is something that you've definitely done in previous math classes, and if you remember that it is the distance around an object. So it's if I took and I put a fence completely around this square, that's its perimeter. It has nothing to do with what's inside. So like putting up a fence around a garden, putting up a fence around a yard, something like that. So because this is a square, we know all the sides of the square are congruent, so they're all 7 feet. So in order to find perimeter, the general formula for perimeter is to add all sides. So we can do that with any figure. So for this figure specifically, it's 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 because there are 4 sides. And if there are 12 sides and they were all 7, you could add 7 12 times. If all the sides are the same, a shortcut, and then we'll see this again later in the unit, is just to multiply by the number of sides. So the perimeter here is 28 feet. But not every figure has all sides that are the same. So if we look at this trapezoid, it asks, what is the perimeter? So we have these two sides. It's an isosceles trapezoid, so these two sides are the same. But we can't just take 12 and multiply by 4 because we have 15 and 20. So this is one where we're going to do 12 plus 12. I did the two sides first, left and right, plus 15 plus 20. When we do perimeter, it doesn't matter what order we go in. 15 plus 12 plus 20 plus 12 is the same 4 numbers. And remember, addition is commutative. 3 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 3. It doesn't matter what order we add in, we get the same answer. So 12 plus 12 plus 15 plus 20 gives me a perimeter of 59 inches. Okay. The next one. So really the only difference here is looking at our different figures. Because again, all we're doing for every figure is adding all the sides. If we have a rectangle, we need to remember that the top is the same as the bottom, so 4 meters here, and the left is the same as the right, so 5 meters here. So I have top plus bottom, 4 plus 4, plus left, plus right. So if you don't have a calculator, you don't want to type it all in your calculator, we can break this down. 4 plus 4 is 8, 5 plus 5 is 10, which gives me a perimeter of 18 meters. You'll see a variety of different triangles. I liked this one because it gave me some decimals, and it's fine to have decimals in our perimeter because especially if we're using something in real life, numbers don't always work out perfectly. So I'm adding all my sides. I'm adding the 21 plus the 12.6 plus the 16.8. So I'm going to do that one in the calculator because that one's a little bit harder. And my perimeter is 50.4, and this one is feet. And then the last one I'm going to show you is a parallelogram. And just like with the rectangle, the top and bottom are the same. The left and right are the same. So in this one I have 12 plus 12, top and bottom. 6 plus 6, left and right, so 24 plus 12. So my perimeter here is 36 miles. Other figures we didn't see that might be helpful for you to remember are a rhombus. So if I had a rhombus, I'll just put this in words here. Rhombus all sides are congruent. So if they give you a rhombus, it's like a square where all the sides are equal. If we had a kite, then our top two sides are congruent and our bottom two sides are congruent. So if that's 3, that's 3. If that's 10, that's 10. And I think that covers then every shape that we've seen so far. When I was doing the problems, I didn't see any that were like hexagons or pentagons or anything like that. But it doesn't matter what the shape is. Remember that the formula is to add all sides.